Next concept, solid forwarding. Note solid forwarding. Next concept, solid forwarding. Note forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Forwarding, say solid forwarding means solid is not forwarded, only request response forwarded. That concept terminology for solid forwarding will call. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. Say, suppose two solids suppose two solids or three solids here. Suppose it's the first solid. First solid. It is second solid. It is third solid. Now, dissolve in server. Dissolve in server. Here, we'll write a code. After writing the code, last line will forward. Here, we'll write some forward. Again, here also we'll write some code. After that, last line, again here will forward. Here also solid code. Now, here we'll write forward. Here also we'll write forward. Okay. It is forwarding like from browser. From browser, I'll send the request to first solid. Here I'll type the URL. It is client. Here I'll type the URL. Something http://2 localhost colon 8082 something forward as a war file name /first. I'll write. Okay. Then what will be happen is my request passed to first solid. My request passed to first solid. This request is called HTTP request. HTTP request. Now, my request passed to first solid. First solid code executed. After that, solid request, solid response forwarded to second solid. Second solid code executed. After that, solid request, solid response forwarded to third solid. Third solid executed. After that, response comes to browser. After that, response comes to a browser. This response is called HTTP response. HTTP response. Now, request passed to first solid, but response is coming from which solid? Third solid. How many solids executed? That information browser doesn't know. Browser is sending request to first solid. Then output received no. Then what it will understand is this output may be from first solid, it will understand. It doesn't know how many solids executed also. Okay. So browser is sending request to first solid. First solid executed. It is forwarded to second solid. Second solid executed. Forwarded to third solid. Third solid executed. At last response comes. Then what server will understand? It is executed by only first solid. That output came like that. It will understand. Response from first solid, it will understand. But actually, how many solids executed? 3 solids executed here. Okay. Now, for example, now when we have to use this one is modularity purpose. Instead of writing complete code in a one solid, if the task is very big, in that situation, you can use. See, for example, while writing core Java program, are you writing complete task code in the main method? No. You'll write in other methods also, other classes also. From main method to other method, other method to other method, other method to other method, n number of you can divide. No? Task you are going to divide into number of modules. According to module, you are going to divide number of pieces. All like that you are dividing. Modularity comes. Instead of writing complete code in a one solid, you divide into many solids. Modularity purpose. Okay. Say, instead of writing complete code in the main method, you will write other methods also. Main method to other method, other method to other method, you'll call. Like that, at last output comes. Here also, at last output comes. Instead of writing, giving a burden to one solid, one place, you can divide into many solids. Modularity is a benefit with this. See, and also server doesn't know how many, browser doesn't know how many solids executed. Okay, that is solid forwarding concept. See, suppose I'll assign one work to you. You will assign, what you will do? You will do something. You will assign to one more person. Again, you will assign to some other person. At last, you'll bring. What I'll understand, I given to you, you are giving, I'll understand. But that is done by 3-4 members. Like that. Instead of giving a burden to one person, we'll divide into many people. Like that. Instead of giving a writing complete code in a one solid, we'll divide into many solids. But when we have to use, if the task is very big, then only. But only 5 lines code is there. 2 lines there, 2 lines here, 1 line here, you should not write. That is also memory wasted. Because every solid object has to create. That is also wasted. Suppose thousands of lines is there. 300 lines here, 200 lines here, like that. Based on the exact module, you can divide. You can write. Modularity is the benefit. Always will divide into modules. That purpose we use this concept. When we'll use, if the task is very big, then only. Write this one. Diagram note. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. So what we are forwarding? Request and response. Forwarding request and response of one solid to another solid is called as solid forwarding. So request and response will be there in the do get method, do post method, service method. These all that request and response will pass. But what request contains? Request parameters. Response parameters. Whatever you are sending to browser, that information passed. That means solid request, solid response. These are interfaces, references, refers some object. That object data transferred. Data. Solid, see, HTML program you have seen. First name, last name, address, mobile number, whatever you are entering, those all will be stored in one object. That object referred by request. That object referred by request. That request passed to another solid. Then other solid also can use the data. So whatever we received from HTML page here, that is hand over to second solid also. Because object is passed. Then same object received here. The data will be there. You will see. Programs I'll give, differences I'll notes I'll give, everything, theory notes also. Okay. Here first you remember, solid forwarding means solid is not forwarded. Request and response forwarded. That point remember present. Okay. Is it over? I am sending request to which solid? Response coming from which solid? Third solid. In how many solids executed? 3 solids executed. But here URL pattern, first solid URL pattern only will be there. Because server implicitly forwards. That information browser doesn't know. Okay. Again, second to third also, server implicitly. Browser involvement is not there. Okay. Browser is sending to first solid. First solid forward, request response forwarded to second solid with by server only. Second to third also server only. From third, you are getting response. Okay. Next, write it. The main advantage of solid forwarding is modularity. The main advantage of solid forwarding is modularity. The main advantage of solid forwarding is modularity. Now, one more concept is there, including that one, this one in a one program, that one, this one, differences at a time. I'll explain. Solid including. Including request and response of one solid to another solid. Now, including request and response of one solid into another solid is called as solid including. Including request and response. Including request and response of one solid into another solid. Including request and response of one solid into another solid is called as solid including. Suppose, say, concept name is solid including, but what we are including? Request and response. Say, in the program request we are writing, the request nothing but reference. It is reference. It refers some memory. It refers some memory. That means this total data you can access. Okay. Now, here, suppose for example, it is first solid, it is second solid, first solid, second solid. Suppose here one address solid, say company address, separate one solid created. Okay. In that company website, many solids are there, many web pages are there. Here first solid code and second solid code. Okay. Now here company address, this address I'll include here at bottom. This address I'll include here also. Now include these all in server. From client system we'll send the request. From client system we'll send the request to first solid. Now from client system I'm sending request to first solid. Then how many solids executed? 2 solids. First solid, address solid. If I send request to second solid, address solid. Okay. Now suppose 100 solids are there. In every solid, address required. Include 100 times. 100 times we can write. Say one time we return address, 100 times included. What is the benefit? Reusability. This code is reusable. Now in every web page at bottom company address required. Instead of writing again and again address, you make it address separate solid. Include. What is the benefit is that code is reusable. 100 times are reusable. And even suppose company address changed. How many changes? One time you have to change. If 100 solid separate is there, 100 times you have to change. That is also benefit, no? That is one time if you write, many times you can utilize reusability. Write this one. So 2 times address included. Even 100 times also you can include reusability. And even address is changed, one time only you have to modify. One solid you have to modify. Like this, if you don't include, 100 times you have to update. Is it over? Now, it is not only solid including, concept is solid including, we can include JSP also. We can include HTML also, possible. HTML can be included, solid can be included, JSP can be included. Notes I'll give. First one program I'll show you. After that, notes I'll give. Is it over? Next, write it. The main advantage of solid including is reusability. The main advantage of solid including is reusability. The main advantage of solid including is reusability. Okay. The code is reusable. That is a benefit. Now, solid forwarding, solid including, both in a one program I'll give. First, what are the methods required? Which interface required? That is, I'll explain. One request dispatcher, one interface is there. I given solid API time. While giving solid API, I given this interface name. Request is going to be dispatched. That's what request dispatcher. Methods. Forward method, include method. Node. Forward, include. Is it over? See, forward method, how many parameters? 2 parameters. Solid request, solid response. Include method, 2 parameters. Solid request, solid response. With the request dispatcher, we can call forward include. With the request dispatcher. For getting request dispatcher, solid request record again. But request dispatcher requires solid request request dispatcher, like both. Okay. Like that only is there. But in the do post method, we are getting request. With that, you can get the request dispatcher. After that, again, that is you can pass here. See, forward include. Now, in the place of solid request, can I pass HTTP solid request? Yes. No? Which is super interface, which is sub interface? This is super interface. That is sub interface you can assign to super interface. No? That is called upcasting. We can pass. Now, one more method for getting request dispatcher record. Solid request. Here method. No done. If we call get requested dispatcher, then you'll get a request dispatcher. Here, next solid URL pattern you have to pass. What is upcasting? Assigning subclass object or subclass reference to superclass reference is called upcasting. URL pattern of next solid. URL pattern of next solid. URL pattern of next solid. To which solid you want to forward that solid URL pattern? To which solid you want to include that solid URL pattern? Now, with the solid request reference, you call this method. Then request dispatcher comes. With this reference, call forward or include, whatever required. Is it over? Now, our task is forwarding, including, both in a one program I'll show you. Say, forwarding, including program. In this program only I'll extend. This logins already you have seen. Here, if the given username password exists, I'll forward. Else, I'll include this HTML again. Now that means I'll do like this. Say login.html. Login form. Username, password, submit button. Okay, reset button. Username, password, submit, reset. You will click on submit. Then it will receive first name, username, password, whatever you entered. These all received by login solid. Now it will check in the database. It will check in the database. Now, if exist, else, say, this solid, login solid. Now, if exist, I'll forward. Given username, password exists. I'll forward to another solid. Here, forward. Here, welcome solid. Okay. Now, here, welcome username. Else, invalid username, password. As well as I'll include this HTML. Again, login.html. In real time, like this only comes, no? Invalid username, password appears. Again, same login page appears. This is including. Here, include. This is, I'll explain. Note down. So in a one program, both forwarding, including both, I'm going to teach in a one program. Username, password is there, forwarded to welcome solid. If not there, invalid username, password, as well as login.html also again appears. So then what will happen? Until right username, password you entered, that invalid username, password, login.html, again and again it will appears. In real time also like that only appears. Red color letters only appears, invalid username, password. Remaining as it is will be there. Here also like that. This page as it is included. Okay. Is it over? So use this program, that program already, whatever you have seen, that program only I'm extending. Okay. Already login.html completed. Login Sowlet also completed. Only in the if condition place, I'll forward. In a else block, I'll include. That is you are going to see. Same program. Just I'll modify login Sowlet. I'll write welcome Sowlet. Okay. Is it completed all? See. Now I'll open Eclipse. See. Job perspective is see here, login solid, I'll modify. Login solid.java. Here. 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 If the given username password is there, we return welcome. In the place of welcome, we have to forward. Forwarding purpose, first request dispatcher required. For getting request dispatcher, which method you have to call? Get request dispatcher. That method in which interface? Solid request. But here we have HTTP solid request. Using subclass reference, using superclass subclass reference, can I access superclass method? It is sub interface reference, that is super interface method. You can call. What you write? Request dispatcher RD equal to request dot get request dispatcher. Okay. Now, to which solid you want to forward? That solid URL pattern we have to write. To which solid we are forwarding? Welcome solid. Something welcome. This is we have to write again. Welcome solid URL pattern. Okay. After this, request dispatcher dot forward. See, request response automatically comes. Now here, request dispatcher for this is a method of which interface? Solid request. It is a reference of which interface? HTTP solid request. But solid request is super interface. HTTP solid request is using sub interface reference. You can I call super interface method? That's what valid. Here, what it takes actually? A solid request, solid response. But what we passed? HTTP solid request, HTTP solid response. That is upcasting. Here inheritance, here upcasting. Inheritance different, upcasting different. What is inheritance? Creating a new class from an existing class. That is inheritance. Assigning subclass object to superclass object. That is upcasting. Okay. Say it is A class. It is B class. Now it is A class. It is B class. Now using B class reference, can I call A class method? That is called just inheritance. That's what possible. Now B class object, can I assign to A class? That is called upcasting. Here A OB equal to new B. This is called upcasting. Which class object created in this line? B class. B class object assigned to A reference. It is called upcasting. Okay. Now, if you create B object with that B object, if you call A method, that is inheritance concept. That is not called upcasting. Inheritance different, upcasting different. Now, it is forwarded to welcome solid. Now, after invalid username password, we have to include. What you have to write again? Request dispatcher RD equal to request dot get request dispatcher. Okay. Next, HTML. HTML you can write slash login dot HTML. We have to include RD dot include over. Now in the if block, I written RD. In the else block also I written RD. Yes, this is block variable here. This is block variable in else. You can write over. Now here invalid username, here already HTML page, HTML code is there. In a login.html only, HTML code will be there. But here for this one HTML code not required. That's what I'll do. Here HTML is not required. I'll remove this. Only this one. If you want, you can add. Suppose pw.println. Already login.html. Login.html. Okay, background color red is there, no? That is again red color letter. If I display it will not appear. Now red color letters appear. I'll display. Here, suppose font color equal to red. Here font close. That's it. Only this code enough because that HTML anyhow included. Font color red. Now you observe. What is it? Semicolon. No. Now I'll execute up to here. You observe. Right click. Run as on server. Save. Login.html also save. Overriding their company. Overriding also one concept. Overriding different, inheritance different, upcasting different. Now here login homepage.html. Now login. Username, wrong password. If I click submit, see invalid username password. Again same login page. So you press n number of times. See again same page. In real time also like this only comes, no? Same page. If I give right username, right password, which program executed? Login solid executed, forwarded to welcome solid. But a welcome solid we didn't write. That's what only 4 not found error comes. Now we didn't write till 4 not found, not found. This error, many reasons will be there, not only in resource not found. Your mistake is also same error comes. Okay. Now we have tried welcome solid. Right click, new solid. Package login. Welcome solid. Welcome solid. Next. Already we decided URL pattern. Welcome. Welcome. Okay. Next. Which type of request coming? Post to type. So do post. Same request forwarded. That's what do post. Now here just printing welcome message with username. First retry username. Request dot get parameter. Uname. We don't record password, only username enough. Print writer. Response dot get writer. pw dot println welcome that username. Yes. If you want to display with HTML, you can add. HTML body. Whatever you want, you can add this one. H1 close body close HTML close. Now you observe, right click, run on server, save, restart. Homepage.html. Say login, username, AAA. When I click on submit button, how many solids executed? 2 solids. What are those? Login solid, welcome solid. In the address bar, which solid URL pattern appears? Which solid? Login solid. Output from which solid comes? That is, okay, that is you observe. In the address bar here login solid URL pattern appears, but output comes from welcome solid. See, submit. Welcome AAA, but in the address bar, login. Because browser doesn't know. There are 2 solids executed. Okay. Now, back. If password is wrong, submit. Now also you observe, it is not HTML not showing. It is login solid URL pattern showing. And HTML also executed. So it is included. Invalid username, password, login. Again wrong password. Again same page. N number of times you enter. Same. Now again existed user. Welcome. Okay. Now in this case, what I given, only just if condition code only I changed. You observe. Login solid. Only this part. If condition. This is only I changed. Okay. What you do is print writer onwards up to else block, write it enough. Now what you do is login solid.java heading. Heading right, login solid.java. Heading login solid.java. Only this part, write it. Login solid.java. In that, just this code snippet, write it enough. Here. Dash dash same as above. Previous program already you studied, no? That is. Remaining code same. Instead of writing complete, you write this enough. Later you can attach. Write this. So if the given username password exists, forward it to welcome solid. Does not exist, invalid username password message as well as HTML included. Is it over? So here forwarded to welcome solid. Here login.html included. Is it completed? Now welcome solid. Welcome solid node. Welcome solid.java. Node. Welcome solid.java. Welcome solid.java. Is it over? Now you observe request dispatcher RD equal to, we return request dot get request dispatcher. With that, forward. In a forward, how many parameters I passed? 2 parameter. Request, response. Actually here, what is happened, see. Now, first of all, we are sending request to homepage.html. This page, just HTML page. This is our program as it is comes, executed, output appears. You will click login. This is also full-fledged HTML program. It will come, it is executed, output comes. You will enter a username, password. What are these two? Request parameter values. Request parameter values. That parameter names are uname, pword. Those two like a variables. These two like a values. Variable value like that. These two, who will receive? Login solid will receive. In that request object will receive. So here, what will be happen here? Uname, it is nothing but one variable. Pword, it is nothing but one variable. Here, in a uname, whatever you enter, listen. Uname, pword. In a uname, whatever you entered, ABC username, password, XYZ password you entered. Okay. Uname and pword, where we are writing? HTML program we are writing. Those two like a variables. Those two like a variables. Whatever you are typing, no, those are like a values. These all received by one object. That object is Sowlet request subclass object. That object referred by request. That object referred by request. This object only we are calling like a Sowlet request. But actually it is not Sowlet request. Sowlet request subclass object. But which is subclass? That is also interface only. Sub interface, that's it. Subclass. One class will be there. That class we do not know. Reason, different server, different class will be there. In Tomcat server, one class will be there. WebLogic server, one more class will be there. That is developed by vendors. Those all interfaces. Are you implementing? No. Sowlet request implemented in one class. That class object created. That class object created. What you are doing? This request you are passing from login Sowlet to welcome Sowlet. It is login Sowlet. Login Sowlet. Here welcome Sowlet. Welcome Sowlet. Now from login Sowlet to welcome Sowlet, you are passing request. Then what will happen? Here whatever is created request, that is copied in this request. That means it is another reference request. It is also refers same memory. But where is this memory? Inside the server. But this program is another program. This program is different program. But we can access. This reference copied. It is nothing but in core Java, what we'll do? Main method to other method will pass the data, no? That type. Main method to other method will pass the parameters. That type this is. So login Sowlet request reference copied into welcome Sowlet request reference. That means whatever is hash code is there, that hash code copied here. Then this hash code can access this data, no? That is the reason request dot get parameter, if I write, we are getting username. Otherwise, all get data. That is actually we entered in HTML program. But HTML program to login solid. Login solid to welcome solid also coming. Reason, same request forwarded. That is the reason password also you can bring. Password also we can bring. See, in real time, it like this will be there. Username, password will enter. Here, inbox displayed. Inbox. Here, you'll click spam. You'll click trash. Hyperlinks will be there, no? Now, when you click spam hyperlink, what will happen? Spam box comes. But that your spam box only comes, no? Are you typing username, password again? It is going to be stored somewhere, no? That is actually session tracking. This is forwarding. But there we use session tracking. That means other servlet also can use the data. But are you typing username, password every page? Somewhere it is stored, no? Where it is stored? Server. Server it is stored. Okay. There, until you log out, it is maintained. But this is until this servlet is closed, it is maintained. Because suppose from here to another servlet, you clicked. Another servlet, you clicked. But it vanished. This data vanished. But this is different. Until you log out, it is maintained. That is next further concept comes. But present, how you are getting this data is login servlet request reference only we are passing to welcome servlet. That means this hash code copied in this hash code. Then this hash code communicates with this object. Then this hash code points to that object only. That's what this username we can use in welcome servlet also. Okay. Same request forwarded. That's what you will get the data. If another request comes, null will be there. Okay. That is a concept. Notes I'll give tomorrow. Request response, this forwarding including. Notes I'll give tomorrow. Online students, Snehal. Yeah, one client. It is not client based, solid based. Your notes I'll share, Chandrasekhar. Snehal. Too many servers, one client. Possible. Uh, path, not path. OGDBC 6 under Tomcat lib folder, you copy a set. Hayat. Kalyani. Exception means which exception? IO exception. That may be print write related error. Sham. Database jar file, you copy into Tomcat lib folder. Tomcat lib folder. Online students, Tirupatamma. Yeah, you contact admin Akhil sir, you'll get. Maunika, that is problem is your mistake only. You have to check the program. Lokesh, you can join parallelly. Chandrasekhar, you can learn parallelly. Hayat, you copy into Tomcat lib folder. C drive, program files, Apache Software Foundation, Tomcat lib. Here you have to copy. Okay. We'll see